Have you subscribed to our channel yet? Okay, you have. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have you pressed the notification bell to let you know when we upload new videos? Okay, all right, thank you again. Well, if you've done both of those things, we want to ask one more thing. Send this video to 3 people. Just send it to 3 people. We are on the road to 100 subscribers and we are halfway there. We just need a little bit more help. So with your help, I know that we can do it. Once again, thank you to all of our support. Now let's get into the video.
Okay, so I was wondering if you would be able to accompany me to the Afro-Caribbean Music Fest this weekend. I thought it might be good for you to have some time to relax, relate, release. You've been working so hard.
Yeah, Mom, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to go. I've got so many things on my plate that I don't have any time to relax, to relate. Matter of fact, I don't know the next time I'll have any free time just for me.
Wow. If this role play that we just did, you're thinking about yourself and you can relate to that, that's kind of where you are, you might need to get a little balance in your life.
Stick around as we discuss all things in wisdom pertaining to balance. You won't want to miss this. This episode should not be used as a substitute for medical or mental health advice. Individuals are advised to seek independent medical advice, counseling, and/or therapy from a healthcare professional with respect to any medical condition, mental health issue, or health inquiry, including matters discussed on this episode.
All right. Hey, good people.
Hey,
welcome.
y'all.
Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. We are so glad you are here. For our faithful watchers and viewers, it's good to see you again. It's good to be with you. For the new folks that are just joining us, we just want to say welcome to you as well. We are good people living this wonderful experience, this thing called life. Mm-hmm. And tonight we're going to be talking about wisdom as it relates to balance.
Yeah. All things balance. We're really excited. We felt like this one was a really good transition from last Wednesday's episode on burnout. So if you haven't watched this one, we suggest you pause this one, go watch the burnout video, and then come on back.
Come on back. Yeah. I am Dr. Lakeba Williams, and I am here to represent Fresh Hope today, along with my co-host.
Yeah, I'm Lauren Williams, and I am doing the same. We are here representing Fresh Hope, and we're really excited to get into this topic, life balance.
Absolutely. So where did this term, work-life balance, where did it come from? So the idea of work-life balance, which some people say is a myth, by the way, but we're going to break it down and kind of get some understanding later on. You know, when we do these episodes, we start with the knowledge.
Yeah.
So we just want to kick some knowledge. We want to kick some knowledge related to balance. Some of you are right in the thick of, your careers, your midlife. Some of you are starting out your careers and you in grind mode. Some of you are retired and you're trying to find some balance in all the fun things you have doing. So we just want to meet everybody where they are. We know comparison is the thief of joy.
Say that again.
Comparison is the thief of joy. No need to compare yourself with your neighbor. We all just want to figure out, how can we find some balance in our lives? Because we have so much pressure on us to do and to be here and go there and all of this. And so Lauren and I thought this just might be a good episode to just kind of come out of that burnout mindset and find some balance. So either extreme, working really, really hard and burn out, or not doing anything. We want to get somewhere in the middle and find some balance. So where does this term come from? The work-life balance. We just want to talk about that. Well, at the turn of the 20th century, Lillian Moeller Gilbreth established this philosophy of work-life balance. And she was a pioneer in the area of industrial and organizational psychology. Her and her husband, Frank, started what was called the Gilbreth Industry Incorporated. And so Gilbreth Incorporated was the business that they started. And the reason they needed to have work-life balance, because they had a large family with 12 children. So they were trying to figure out, how do we run this engineering company and also incorporate human management and scientific underpinnings, the lighting that we experience, modern day business, took all of that, got its underpinnings and in its beginning from the Gilberts. This idea of the workplace having the certain type of lighting, having the certain type of setup so we could all be comfortable. And now that with COVID and technology, this whole idea of flexible workplaces, this whole idea of us working remotely, but still working in companies and spaces where the morals, like the values, the mission, can go into our homes as we work remotely. All of this makes things so complicated. But what we're talking about right now is, yes, the company you work for, if you're in corporate, may have some values and a mission and all of that. How does that factor in with what you got going on yourself? And how do you find balance in your own life? What are your thoughts,
Absolutely.
Mark?
First of all, I love that you gave us the background
on the knowledge.
Work-life balance.
Yeah.
That's that PhD in adult education.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
you always gonna get some knowledge when you come in here, and
Gilberts.
the historical background of whatever we're talking about. I love that you shared about the 12 children, because that means that not only did they talk it, but they walked it, and it was practical for their lives. It was almost, it sounds like a necessity to need to find some sort of balance, to continue to build this empire, to feed their family, to leave a legacy, but at the same time be present in their lives, to raise their children, to nourish their marriage, and their own personal, things that they have going on. So.
Well, now that you mentioned that, a little bit of their background, they had 12 children. 12 children were born to that union, but 11 of them went on into adulthood. And so they were touched with loss. And so they had some other things that kind of impinged on their life together and peace and all of that.
Harmony.
But they learned how to work that thing out. And in 2016, a survey found that 54% of professionals said that they had an increased commitment to life-work balance. That's in 2016. I'm imagining those numbers are higher today because of the flexible workspaces and our desire to still have this sense of ownership of our own lives. Yes, I work for so-and-so, but I still maintain the ownership of my soul.
And I am so-and-so.
Yes, I
working
still,
at so-and-so.
that part.
Right.
Yes. And for the entrepreneurs out there, sometimes it's hard to get away from the business. I can understand both
you
sides
are the
of
business,
coin.
right?
You are. So we're going to be talking about balance for all of us.
And for our viewers that aren't working right now, right? There are other ways that you can experience issues navigating work-life balance. Sometimes we pour a lot into our families. I mean, Mom, you're a stay-at-home mom for
a long time.
How is that balance? You have three little ones. Two, and two. So you could be like my mom, you know, where you're pouring a lot right now. You're just in that family mode. Or you could even be taking care of elderly family members as well. Caregivers. Stepping away from work. And so we want to bring all of you into this conversation because as to our, capacity, to our capability, we have you all in mind. Let's talk about what balance is, shall we? Let's give a few definitions. The word balance. So first and foremost, we thought this was funny. It's both a noun and a verb. So no wonder why we have issues trying to find it. We're trying to be balanced, but we're also trying to balance our situations, right? So it's difficult to find harmony sometimes in that space. And then we wanted to offer just a couple of other definitions that we found. Balance is an even distribution of weight, enabling someone or something to remain upright and steady.
Oh my God, today.
When we see balance as a noun, we believe it will bring stability to our lives. I'll read that again. I love the various definitions. Balance is an even distribution of weight, enabling someone or something to remain upright and steady. So if there is no balance, I think the antithesis of this would not be upright and steady. So you're probably hunched over or just going back and forth.
Dominoes. Just fall down.
Right.
Can a person bring balance into a situation, into your life?
I would offer no.
Yeah.
I would offer no.
That?
We do.
Oh,
We do. We have to bring the balance into our life. That's a good question. I'm sure a lot of people in their minds are thinking, well, if I just get this.
Oh, a partner?
Yeah. If I just get that partner, if I just then balance will
another job at that other company.
Yeah, because they look like they got better benefits over there. If I get that, then balance will come. Once my kid gets to goes to college, or once my child goes to kindergarten, then balance will come. Yeah. We are here. Let me show you the quote. This conversation. I know, it's great. It's great. That we posted on Fresh Hope's Instagram yesterday.
I love this conversation because we can bring peace. We can bring, in our temperament and personality, we can come into spaces and just bring that sense, that energy of peace and that kind of thing. Yeah. But balance is something that
balance is not something you find. It's something you create. So we're going to be talking about creating balance today. You want to get into it?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Yeah. So as we start this conversation on just life balance, I want you to think just about your own life. So if you are driving or if you're doing something that requires your eyes, do not do this. You can experience this while paying attention and being a good citizen.
Yes.
But if you are in a space, like you're sitting on the couch like we are, I want you to try this exercise with me. So we want this to be personal, right? We want you to think about your own life as you're watching this video. So I'd like, if you're in a space where you feel safe and you're sitting down, I'd like for you to close your eyes, okay? Close your eyes. My mom is a great example of what this would look like. Now that your eyes are closed, I would like for you to imagine your everyday routine, okay? Just think about it. When you get up, what are you doing, right? As soon as you get up, how are you transitioning from your bed into whatever you do next? What are you doing after that, after that, after that? You're just day to day, right? Just be thinking about it. From when you wake up to when you begin your work day, we've started our work day. What does that look like if we work from home? What does that look like if we're going in the office? What does that look like all the way until you roll over to go to sleep? So just spend a few minutes thinking about that. As you're going to sleep, you're preparing to do it all over again, right? All right. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being horrible, 10 being amazing, just think about where would you rate yourself on a scale of balance. Just keep thinking about your life, your routine, right? Without criticism as much as you can, more approach it from a space of observation and acceptance. All right, come on back in, open your eyes. Hopefully that was a nice break throughout the day. And just think about, have that number in your head. 1 is horrible. You ain't got no balance. 10 is you need to be like sitting right here on Wednesday teaching us. Do you have a number? Okay, great. So as we talk about that number, we want you to keep that in mind as we go on to exploring balance. So I'll give it back to you, Mom. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So we will be talking about the life wheel. Yeah. And so as you see this up on the screen, once you begin to think about it, or if you pull it up on your phone, you can Google the life wheel. And life coaches use this a lot. We use it in therapy sessions with our clients to encourage folks to look at their life from a 30,000 foot view, kind of take a high level view of their lives, and to rate your level of satisfaction from 1 to 10 in all of these areas.
We're going to insert a picture of the life wheel right now so you can see it.
Very good. Very good. And so as you're looking at that, we want you to begin to think about your life in these areas, and we're going to talk through them now. So we're going to read this diagram like a clock. We're going to start at 12 o'clock. In the area of business life, how would you rate your level of satisfaction in the area of money and finance? So 1 would be the lowest satisfaction, 10 would be the highest satisfaction. So, Lauren, you want to take a shot at that one? Like, what would that look like for you?
I'd say at this point in my life, money and finance would probably be a 6 or a 7 for me. Not too bad, but a long way to go. I've got some dreams, some goals, some aspirations. It's funny, finances are, we keep it real in this space, is a place that I'm really pouring a lot of my energy into right now, as opposed to other areas of my life. This is a focus for me right now. Yeah. So I'd like to, and as you do that, we want you to be thinking about
yourself.
Yeah, just your own life and what your focus is. And you'll have a couple of different focuses, but that's definitely a main one for me.
Well, I love what you're saying as it relates to focus, because some folks say that life-work balance is a myth. And we say, well, it's a cycle, because at certain stages of your life, you're going to be focusing more and maybe even more satisfied in certain areas. So at this point in my life,
we're gonna talk about it.
I'm at a different place. Like I'm thinking about pre-retirement. And so I can look back on my career, my choice to be at home with my children, how that impacted my earning potential, and not even bat an eye on that, because I'm so happy I did it. The investment that I was able to make in you all was just having children 2 years apart, just like stair steps.
Can we just hold space for that? I mean, first of all, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
For spending time with us. I know Caitlin and Chet, we all feel the same way. Thank you for that sacrifice, because having a child myself now, I see everything that you poured in. I couldn't imagine. And some of you might be listening and you had a similar trajectory. Back to back to.
Invaluable. And yet costly in some ways as it relates to earning potential and that type of thing.
It's the reality of it, right?
Yeah. Well, this thing called life, and this being a woman, right? And maybe some guys are on the call and you're thinking, and I can see it from the other side of it. Maybe your partner was able to slow down a little bit and do some different things, and you took on the lion's share of everything. Felt like Atlas in many ways. We commend you as well for what everybody played a position.
Play their part.
Right.
Play your
and so
role.
my level of satisfaction at that point, as it relates to money and finance at this stage in my life, is I'm really satisfied. I'm like 8.5. Like I'm feeling real good about where I'm at. As a matter of fact, I'm like trying to throttle down. And one thing we want to encourage you all to do, just think about where you are. When we focus on our own money and finance, that temptation of pocket watch goes away. And we just be minding our business, drinking water and minding our business. I'm encouraging all of us. Don't worry about what somebody else got going on. What you got going on, if you're on a fixed income, maybe your Social Security check
we thank God.
Listen, go on and think about how you can be satisfied with what you have. That is what brings contentment. Paul said it this way: I've learned to be content in whatever state that I'm in. And when you can find contentment wherever you are, that level of satisfaction can go up. Even if the numbers don't change, the commas don't slide, you can be happy where you are. So what's the next area? Business life, the next area.
We've got career and work. So these are side by side under the umbrella of business life. You'll see on the diagram, career and work. So not only are we talking about money and finance, we're talking about what you're doing for a living, and also the trajectory of what you want to do in the future. Just what does your career look like right now? Are you satisfied with not only what you're doing, but the track that you're on when it comes to your career and work? This encompasses everything, like the hours that you're working. Are you going in the office? Are you at home? Does this fit the lifestyle that you want? Does this fit the lifestyle that you see for yourself? Kind of like what you said, how satisfied are you in this area? So that's another one. We're
going to go on around the wheel. We would love to have these intimate type conversations. Maybe we can have coffee, tea. We can meet somewhere. We can do that. Let's keep
And
going.
we want to encourage you also to do this with
your friends.
With your friends.
With your
we
partner.
ain't always got to be talking about mess.
This is positive gossip.
Yes, positive gossip.
positive gossip
Yeah.
is a real thing. We're
Yeah.
gonna do a segment
Yeah.
about. We're gonna do an episode about positive gossip.
Yes.
But anyway.
But yeah, your partner.
Be with your partner.
You
Y'all
know,
can have coffee.
your mentor, your
Yes.
mentee. This
Yes.
is something that you could do with someone that you trust, someone that you care about, person that pours into you just as much as you pour into them.
Yes.
So
What's
let's go.
next?
So creative life, very, very, very important. So in that, something that we hold near and dear to our hearts, health and fitness.
Yes.
So same thing, scale of 1 to 10. How satisfied are you in this area? Typically, when you are extremely satisfied in one area, that means that there's potential for other areas of your life to kind of dwindle down. Yeah. So as we're going through this,
balance.
we also want to introduce this whole idea of balance. You'll color the wheel.
Yeah.
And you'll see there's just different places, right? Yeah. And sometimes, like I said, right now I'm really locked in on money and finance. So I'm going to be really locked in, right? But if you notice in the actual diagram, each of the pizza slices are the same size. Yeah. Business life isn't big like this, and creative life isn't tiny. Yeah. And that's for a reason, right? They're balanced for a reason in size. So we ideally, we won't experience perfect balance until we transition on into the next life, okay? But we always want to strive for it to increase the quality of our lives. Yes. So just have that in mind. So health and fitness, what are we eating, right? How are we doing with our health? Not only are we talking about working out, eating healthy, we're also talking about those GP visits, general practitioner visits for women, our annual, visits for men, what y'all do, y'all's checkups, making sure that you're, all of us getting our blood pressure checked out. And a lot of times we just kind of do the bare minimum because we're so busy. Yeah. But and I'm even talking to myself, we want to encourage you to go to your general practitioner as well. Just get an annual workup of everything. Get, your blood workup, get your blood pressure checked, get your, all of those sorts of things, just to make sure that you're doing okay. You're never too young and you're never too old, right? Both are equally important.
And a lot of those exams have age like there's at certain age limits or requirements or suggestions that you start having that preventative exams like the colonoscopy and all of those things. So the breast exams, the prostate exams, we just want to encourage everybody to be aware of those things and take good care of yourself, because that will increase your level of satisfaction in that area. What's next?
Absolutely. Let's talk about fun and recreation.
Oh, yes. So the example about the Afro-Caribbean Fest, that would fall under fun and recreation.
Absolutely. Yes. Equally as important. Yes. Let's say you're really locked into career and work. Yeah. Fun and recreation probably looking too small. Yeah. Or you're really locked into fun and recreation.
Your money and finance
looking too small. Right. And career and work, you on a PIP plan because you keep walking in late, stumbling in because you're having a lot of fun and recreation. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What's your satisfaction with that as well?
Work on it.
Absolutely. And then we'll go to social life. Yeah, this one's really important. You want to take that one?
Yeah. So just thinking about your environment, right? And your environment under social life would mean your home and the decor of it, the TV, the size of it, your refrigerator, does it get cold enough? These are all the things that in your environment. Your sleep space, is your bed comfortable? You going through the change of life? Do you have a cooling mattress, or do you have the temperature at 68 degrees at night? All of these things matter as it relates to your environment. Is where you're living safe? All of these things. There is an area of research related to urban trauma, violence. If where you're laying your head down doesn't feel safe to you, if you see the ring notifications about this shooting here and this shooting there, you may want to think about ways where you can be safe, get to safety, make sure you're doing things to keep you safe. At certain times of night, I just don't move around. I get somewhere and sit down unless I'm moving with some folks. I'm just saying, I want to move around with people. because by yourself, you just got to make sure you're safe. All of these things matter as it relates to environment. And that is what we can do to keep each other safe, to communicate what's going on in our neighborhoods, what's going on in our environment, so that even when stuff is going down, we keep each other abreast of what's going on. Mm-hmm. Also in that area is community. Mm-hmm. That's an extension of our home and goes into the community. Are you plugged in church? Mm-hmm. Are you involved in the civic organizations? Mm-hmm. Are you voting? Mm-hmm. All of those things increase the level of our connectedness. I was talking to someone the other day and they were saying, I took my daughter to basketball practice and I got to know some of the moms and I felt so connected to the community, and that is community and increases this level of connection as it relates to our social life. So are you involved with your sorority or fraternity, going to those meetings, paying your dues? That helps you feel connected and more satisfied.
Absolutely. And under the, sticking with the theme of balance, that's so important, because there are other areas. You might be in a transition where you aren't experiencing much engagement on a personal level just because of some of the things that you've going on, the stage of life that you're in. Community will help to bring in that balance. You're still getting a healthy amount of interaction with other people, with other adults that are alike, that are different. Bringing that engagement into your life helps with just being healthy all around.
It does.
And increasing balance and feeling supported.
Feeling supported and feeling connected, because the Surgeon General said a couple of years ago, loneliness is an epidemic in our country. Yeah. And since COVID, some of us have kind of gotten into this space where agoraphobia is a real thing for us. We just fear going outside because of our fears of related to our safety, or just because we just was inside all the time for COVID, and we was like, I like it in here. I like my environment, but my community, I don't know if I want to move around out there. We're saying balance is important, y'all. It gives us a sense of well-being. Right. And so let's keep going.
Absolutely.
Good job on that.
Let's knock the rest of these out.
Yes.
So Love Life is also a part of the life wheel, right? And what comes to your head, right? Probably romantic love. Well, we've got something else. Family and friends. It's also a part of your love life, which helps with balance. There are going to be some times in your life where family and friends is like a 9, 10, and partners in love is like a 3, or partners in love is like a 10, family and friends is like a 3, right? And that's okay. A part of this, a lot of what we do is awareness. Once you fill this out, you'll know the areas that you need to work on, the areas that you need to put to balance out the energy that you have, the areas that you need to spend more time in to increase the quality of your overall life.
Your satisfaction.
Right.
Yeah, so wherever you find yourself, just being aware of it. And partner in love, maybe you are where you want to be. We say all the time, being single or partnered, they are states of being. Keep going.
Let's talk about life purpose. This is the final section of the life wheel, which we find is extremely important, as well as they all are. I just get excited about each piece because I get to see both personally and professionally how much of an impact each section has. Growth and learning. We don't know it all. There's so much we don't know. And so many things that we can learn as part of why we started Wisdom Wednesday.
Yes, and you good people want that knowledge.
You want
That's
that
why
knowledge.
You're here.
Absolutely. And that helps with balance. Always seeking knowledge on how to make your life better, how to be more practical, how to increase the quality of your life, your experiences. So always growing and learning, that's a part. And then finally, last but certainly not least, spirituality. For us, that looks like Christianity, that looks like community at church. And for you have to figure out what that looks like for you, or maybe what's your level of satisfaction in that area. Sometimes I'll be in session, we'll talk about all of them. And when it comes to spirituality, for a lot of people, it'll be low. That's an indicator that that's an area that you need to pour into. And I'd like for you, if that's you, if you find that you get to that, you're like, and it's lower than a lot of the other areas of your life, pour into it and see what happens. Just see what happens. Start practicing in whatever way that you feel comfortable, whatever way that you, whatever way you know how to practice, or even if you explore other ways. put some effort into that part of your life
happens.
and just see what happens. We bet that you'll see an increase in your overall life
$1 to a
experiences.
dime.
Yeah,
$1 to a dime. So that's good odds.
Yeah.
That it'll manifest something special for you. Some of you are out there and you've got some church hurt, and maybe you've been at the crib watching it online because you just, you've been hurt. We would just say to you, God uses relationships to heal us. Yes, we've been wounded in relationships, but God uses the same thing that we get wounded by to heal us, and that's just God's math, not mine. We've said that before on this platform. I think it bears repeating. So what's the wisdom on this balance
We talked
thing?
about the knowledge.
Yes.
We've just gotten the understanding.
Yes.
So let's talk about the wisdom. You want to talk about stop stressing?
Stop stressing. We're going to give you an acronym, and then we're going to hit the dough. We're going to hit the dough. So stop stressing. If you're not satisfied in business life, in creative life, in social life, in your love life, in life purpose, stop stressing about it, good people, and just breathe. STOP as an acronym. Stop. Stop what you're doing. Just reevaluate. Just reevaluate. T, take a few breaths.
So in the opening, when we gave the example about the Afro-Caribbean
role play, yes.
Did you see how fast I answered that question? Oh, I'm not going to be able to do this because I don't have time. And that was an example where I could have just stopped.
Yes.
Stopped what I was doing, closed my eyes if I was safe, and really analyze what was going on. If I felt the compulsion to say how busy I was, to think about why that is, right? Think about the life wheel, put things into perspective. Oh, I have been putting a lot of my time in other areas, and my level of satisfaction and fun and recreation is really low. So maybe I need to
get outside.
Right. Set some boundaries with some people. Okay, go back to boundaries, episodes 1 and 2. And then pour into that area of my life, right? Because I recognize that it's really low, and I want to increase those numbers to develop some boundaries. I meant to develop some balance.
Balance. You just made me drink water and mind my business.
Right.
We get outside. Oh, observe. How are you feeling? We give you that 3-point check-in. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I doing? You want to see that stop sign in your mind when you start to think, get revved up, and you kind of feel that word vomit. Oh, I'm just doing stop. S, stop what you're doing. T, take a few breaths. O, observe how you're feeling physically. What's going on inside you? This is a tool in your toolbox. What's going on emotionally? What's going on mentally? Are you having racing thoughts? Slow yourself down. S, T, O, P, perceive. Perceive the sounds around you. Listen to them without judgment. And then tap in and figure out, what are my next steps? What do I need to do? The wisdom is slow down, good people. You're taking care of your grandchild. You're a caregiver for your loved one. You're retired, but you're volunteering a lot, and you feel like you got a job of volunteering. Slow down and find that satisfaction. I don't know that there's anybody that gets to the end of their life and wishes that they would have worked more. We talked about today balance related to the things that really matter. Wisdom is find the balance, find what works for you, and do it. You can. I'm just to piggyback off of that, the wisdom for me, especially when it comes to stop stressing, a lot of times in session, it's really difficult to be introspective. We get on this roller coaster of what we got to do, and we just go. And sometimes that's for a reason, right? And so if you find that you struggle taking time out for yourself to really navigate what's going on internally, to really find joy in things outside of your obligations, we want to encourage you to seek help. Talk to somebody. Whether that's a life coach or a licensed therapist, to help you to kind of go to some of those places. Sometimes you got to go to those childlike spaces to figure out what is fun and recreation for me. What do I like to do? What makes me happy, right? Or let's even go this route. You're having trouble managing your money.
hire a financial planner
Oh, no,
to help
right.
you navigate your life.
Yeah,
If you feel like
that's good.
spirituality,
Talk
go
to the
go
pastor.
find a pastor.
Yeah, get some
Shop for
spiritual
pastors.
counseling.
Yeah,
Yes.
love life.
Yeah.
Spend
They say
time
they
with
got
your
them
family.
dating coaches. Maybe you can get you one of them.
Yeah. After you go to the financial plan.
Hey!
And then social life. Really sit
Yeah.
with, evaluate your community,
Your circle.
your environment, your circle,
Yeah.
and figure out if you're satisfied with that.
Yeah.
And then if you are, good. If
Hey.
you aren't, then you know what to do. But if you
Yeah.
need some help, I guess that's the wisdom.
Yeah.
Get the help.
That's good.
First of all, navigate. Sit with it, acknowledge it, and then in whatever area, get whatever help you need. So we thank you guys for tuning in with us today. We hope that this video helped someone. We had a lot of fun preparing for it. And as always, if you enjoy this video, we kindly ask for you to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Mom, you got anything you want to say?
No, we're just sending y'all a whole lot of peace.
Yeah.
Nothing but it.
Find balance, y'all.
Peace.
Bye. This episode should not be used as a substitute for medical or mental health advice. Individuals are advised to seek independent medical advice, counseling, and/or therapy from a healthcare professional with respect to any medical condition, mental health issue, or health inquiry, including matters discussed on this episode.